Hello and welcome once again to this Red Gaming Tech video. Myself, Amato. As always, I'm here with the latest news from the tech world in the last 24 or so hours. Today we're going to start things off with a bit of an update to the whole user benchmark situation. Now, for those of you who perhaps missed my previous video, you of course can find it. It will be linked in the description below this video. But essentially the other day we saw an update to user benchmark's ranking, and now it heavily favours Intel for one simple reason. Multi-core performance was given a 10% importance in terms of how they rank CPUs, and now it's 2%. And it is very heavily based now on single-core performance, whereas before 30% was single-core performance in terms of how much it affected the ranking. And as you guys know, Intel has for a long time done much better than AMD when it comes to single-core, so this does mean that we see some pretty hilarious results. Now, UserBenchmark has issued a sort of kind of response. It's not dressed up as a response, but it obviously is, if that makes any sense. Now, the response is rather lengthy, but I'm going to go through it and you'll see why I'm not overly keen on their response. Quotes, the effective CPU speed index approximates typical consumer CPU performance with a single number. Gaming FPS and normal desktop tasks such as surfing the web with multiple tabs, software development, watching videos and listening to music do not require more than 4 cores. And then they go on to say, the addition of each successive core beyond the first becomes increasingly less relevant to a typical consumer. And a well-maintained PC, 100% of utilization of 4 cores will only normally occur during heavily threaded workstation operations such as number crunching or audio-video production. Higher core counts allows for slightly looser PC management by masking the effects of malware and other resource-draining processes such as spontaneous Windows updates. And then they address the bias towards one brand or another. They say, quote, performance for specific use cases will vary, but our aim, after years of research, hundreds of hours of collaboration and millions of samples, is the effective speed to best represent the majority of our users. Shortly after the Ryzen 3000 release, which we welcomed emphatically, we noticed that our CPU, gaming and desktop estimates were unrealistically overestimated CPUs with core counts beyond 8, so we corrected our estimates. Our underlying data points for single, quad and multi-core performance remain unchanged and are clearly visible together with gaming, desktop and workstation scores on each of our product and comparison pages. We frequently tune our effective speed indices to match the latest developments and will continue to do so independently. Presently we are aware that we slightly overestimate the latest batch of AMD 5700 graphics cards, but unsurprisingly, nobody's crying fire, continuously spamming us about that. And then they finish up by saying, quote, we do not have employees that engage in social media or any other form of marketing. Our ambassadors are our users. We believe our energy is best spent developing our site and improving our service to you. Finally, beware the organised army of shills who pump one brand or another and deal in hot air rather than reason. Only trust independent sources before parting with even a penny of your hard-earned cash. Now, there's a couple of things I want to address. Now, I did skip over a couple of points, but I gave you the important points, but if you want to see their full statement, it will be linked in the description below. So the main issue that I have with this is that it acts like 4 cores, it just acts like above 4 cores. Oh, you don't need any more than that. Gaming couldn't possibly cause more than 4 cores to be 100% utilization. That whole statement of, quote, a well-maintained PC utilization of 4 cores will only occur during heavily threaded workstation operations, blah blah blah. And I'm like, gaming though? There are several games that will absolutely just eat up your 4 cores if you let them. There are so many examples of even 6-core, 6-thread processors that will be at 100% utilization, or between 90 to 100% utilization. That is precisely why adding more cores has been one of the things that Ryzen has really excelled at. That's one of the reasons why Ryzen has excelled, I suppose to say. So to be honest, this whole statement is just bizarre to me. 4 cores has not been the standard for a while. So, I don't even know what to say in response to this, to be honest. I'm just, that's very PR response. And to say the quote, organised army of shells, I'm just, yikes. Anywho, let's move on, shall we, to an update regarding the Nvidia Shield. You may recall some time ago we discussed a report which stated that we were going to be getting an updated Nvidia Shield, which was codenamed mdarcy or mdarcy, still not sure how to pronounce that, to be honest with you. And according to that report, we could expect to see a updated Tegra X1 chipset, Android 9 Pie, and even some new shiny peripherals to go alongside it. And now we have a brand new FCC filing which seems to state, or at least confirm, that yes, this is the case. The filing is labelled, quote, Nvidia Corporation Shield Android TV Game Console P3430. Now, there's no images or specifics. We do see the processor listed as the Tegra X1 T2110B01. And for those of you wondering, the one for the Shield TV released back in 2017, the processor is a Tegra X1A2. So this does seem to lend a bit of credence to the rumour that we would see an updated chipset to this updated Nvidia Shield TV. Now, of course, until the words come out of the mouth of Nvidia that yes, we are going to be getting a new Shield, do take this with a pinch of salt. But this very much puts fuel on the flames of rumour that we are indeed going to be getting some sort of upgrade to the Shield itself. And of course, it's very possible that it's just a refresh, a minor upgrade of sorts to basically have a competitor on the market to the Google Stadia, or it could be a major upgrade, we just don't know. So let's move on now to Nintendo as we have an update on the whole JoyCon situation. So you have undoubtedly seen the news or even watched my video where I discussed the fact that Nintendo are being sued, a class action lawsuit to be specific, due to the alleged JoyCon drift. Go and watch my video if you haven't seen it to get the skinny, but I'm sure you guys have seen the news doing the rounds. So it seems Nintendo are planning to offer, should I say, out of warranty Joy-Con repairs, at least in the US. There was a internal Nintendo US memo which was shared by Vice News that stated, quote, customers will no longer be requested to provide proof of purchase for Joy-Con repairs. It is not necessary to confirm warranty status. If a customer requests a refund for a previously paid Joy-Con repair, confirm the prior repair and then issue a refund. And you might go, oh, is there any chance of it coming outside of the US? Well, at least according to Nintendo Life, it is limited to certain regions like the United States, where of course that is where they are actually being sued under the class action lawsuit, and there has been no change in policy according to various reports doing the rounds here in the United Kingdom. So for those of you suffering from this issue here in the UK, unfortunately, unless there is a change of opinion from Nintendo, we are not going to be seeing this out of warranty repairs being issued or offered to anyone here. Of course, do take this all with a pinch of salt, as that not been an official statement as such, as a leaked internal memo. So, our second to last topic for today was just another update. Lots of updates for you today, this time for Apple and Intel. So you may recall that I've discussed numerous times now how Intel have decided to leave the 5G modem business period and are selling their 5G modem patents, some engineers and so on and so forth. I should say selling engineers, but you know what I mean. The engineers that were working on them are leaving the company, and they now have the opportunity to go and work for whichever company purchases Intel's patents. Regardless, I said the other day that Apple were very, very close, apparently, to signing an agreement with Intel, and it is now official. They have signed an agreement, and Apple will be taking over Intel's 5G modem business for the shiny price of $1 billion. Apple are going to acquire 2,200 Intel employees, as well as intellectual property and equipment. I do have a bit of a statement here from the Intel CEO Bob Swan, who said, quotes, this agreement enables us to focus on developing technology for the 5G network while retaining critical intellectual property and modem technology that our team has created. We have long respected Apple, and we're confident they provide the right environment for this talented team and these important assets moving forward. We're looking forward to putting our full effort into 5G, where it most closely aligns with the needs of our global consumer base, including network operators, telecommunications equipment, manufacturers, and cloud service providers. Now, as I discussed in my previous video, one of the aims that Apple has by doing this is to eventually break free from Qualcomm. They, of course, settled with them. They stopped their bickering in court, and they are once again using their technology because they pretty much had no choice. I'm very much giving the cliff notes here, so go watch my previous video if you missed it. But regardless, Apple's long-term goal is to use these patents and obviously the employees and their know-how to eventually design their own chips in-house and just be independent in this way. Now, obviously, Intel's CEO statement there, again, Bob Swan, obviously alluded to the fact that they are still going to be developing 5G in some way, and for those of you wondering what that actually means, well, Intel are still going to retain the right to, quote, develop modems for non-smartphone applications such as PCs, Internet of Things devices, and autonomous vehicles. So essentially this is just the smartphone side of things, to put it on TLDR. So, One last quick thing that I want to throw in before I close out the video, and that is we have a Doom Classics surprise release. So, did I just say Doom Classics release? Yes. Basically, Bethesda had a very nice little surprise for us at QuakeCon this year. We are getting Doom, Doom 2 and Doom 3 released on Xbox One, PS4 and Xbox Switch, and Doom 2 have also been released for iOS and Android. So, as for the price, Doom and Doom 2 are $5 each, and they will both include local 4-player split-screen co-op and deathmatch. Doom 3, unsurprisingly, is a bit more expensive at $10, and Doom 3 will include the Resurrection of Evil and Lost Missions expansion packs. Of course, these have been available on PC for quite some time, but it is still really nice to see them being re-released on console, and I'm sure many of you are going to be enjoying that this weekend. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, your support is highly appreciated, and I'll see you next time.